Yo, what's up, everybody? Today I'm going to be talking about how to become a data leader. And I wanted to make this video simply because I've been a data engineer for 6 years now. And I've learned a lot because I've been working as a data engineer for multiple different industries. I've worked in the e-commerce industry, worked in HR and people management, and then now working in the agricultural supply chain space. And every industry is going to be completely different. Everybody prides themselves on the technologies that they use, but I want everybody, whether you're in data engineering, data analytics, data science, even if you're in program, project management, business analyst, even tech sales, any technical role, I want you to understand that these technologies will change. Everything is changing with the adoption of AI and machine learning tools. But as you can see, every few months, there's going to be a new model that's going to be coming out. There's going to be a change in the different technologies that we use. You have people who have learned Java over many, many years. And Java will always be around in some capacity, but they're already moving to newer technologies such as Kotlin, as an example. You have people who are teaching Python, which, in my opinion, is one of the best languages for beginners to be able to learn because it reads a lot like English, but it's also based off the same language that Java was written on, which is C. So, all the C-based languages tend to do really well, but I wanted to also bring up that you have Python, which is perfect. In my own opinion, right? Perfect for a lot of data science and data engineering tasks. But you also have Java, that can also do data engineering work. R, which can also do data engineering work and data science work. And then you also have Go, which can be used, which is being used in other companies for data engineering. And all these programming languages can be used in many different use cases, right? Because Python can also do games, it can do several different other things as well. Very versatile, and so is Java and Go and all these other programming languages. But as we continue going forward in history, we'll start to adopt better ways of doing things, better techniques, and the technologies will change. Um, you'll have AWS being the number one cloud provider, but will it always be the number one cloud provider, right? Because you have Azure, who is the second best as far as the cloud providers. And with Azure being under Microsoft's umbrella, a lot of companies like Microsoft because they have packages and everything is baked into a package. So you get a lot of savings with that. So there's a lot of different business use cases as to why they may go with one cloud provider over the other. But I'll bring this up to say is that if you want to become a data leader, you need to understand the business and the business use case depending on your industry. You have all these different programming languages. You could get laid off and then go to a different company, and then that company has a completely different architecture than your previous one, and they do things completely differently than your previous employer. So it is imperative that you understand different technologies. You have to be in a niche when it comes to your role, but you have to be a generalist in your niche, meaning that you have to attend conferences and networking events so that way you can build your network, but then also understand what new technologies and new ways of thinking and new techniques are coming down the pipeline. So that way you can stay ahead of the game in the market, because businesses, like, they're always going to change. There's always going to be some new thing. The newest iPhone comes out every single year, and sometimes multiple times within the same year, right? So technology moves extremely quickly. So you should be flexible in the amount of things that you know. You can't just be okay with maybe just getting the certification, right? You got to get the certification. You don't necessarily need a certification to get a job, but it is good to be able to get a certification to validate your skills, so that way it can help you get a job or stand out amongst the crowd. But that's just not where it ends. You need to be able to build your network to get more opportunities, but you also need to be able to understand the business to a technical level, and then also be able to interpret the business use cases, so that way you can speak to it almost as if it is just you telling a story, not only about yourself, but then also about the business. So whatever company that you work for, and you're trying to become a data leader, you really need to understand why the business may be making certain decisions. Why did they go with this technology? Why did they use this cloud provider? Why is it that they want to do things in this way and not the other way? A lot of the time it has to deal with the relationships of the people who are making the decisions. Because, like I said earlier, Microsoft packages things together. You can have an executive that worked for the company, and they may no longer work there anymore. They may still work there, and they just so happen to like or know somebody who works in Microsoft. Or the same thing with Google. You may have somebody who liked somebody who worked at Google, and they were close friends. So that's how they were able to get the deal for the company to use Google. Same thing for any other cloud provider, any other technology. Think about why is it that you're using it, and then also start networking not only with people outside of your current company, but also inside of your company, so that way you can understand the work that they do and how it impacts the business, so that way you can better understand how your role impacts the business as well. How many people do you impact? How large of a scope of impact that you provide on your team, and like the products that you may build or work on, or the people that you work with, like what is their background, what is their backstory. If you don't know these types of things, it'll be really difficult to become a leader. And a leader is not always going to be the strongest or the smartest, right? I don't know who the smartest data engineer is in the world. I don't know who the smartest person in the United States is, or the smartest person in the world. I'll tell you is that I do know who the data engineering leader is at my current company. I do know who the president of the United States is currently in 2024. I don't know who the best basketball player is, but I do know the owner of the Dallas Mavericks at the time of this recording in 2024 is Mark Cuban, right? So understand that you may not be the smartest, or you may not be the strongest in your skill set, but if you know the business, and then people know who you are, you probably get a lot further than a lot of your other peers who are just only concerned with just doing their job, which is the bare minimum. And every person who, like, any person that you run into, your boss, your co-worker, your direct manager or lead, whoever it is, anybody who may be over you in your hierarchy, I will always tell you that the bare minimum is just doing the job that they hired you for. You have to be able to go out there and learn more and be able to provide more impact to the organization in a positive way. So hopefully that helped. I currently am, I'm a leader now, right? But I am growing in my career, in my skill set, and the whole point of Before the Billions is to be able to show people my journey and then also be able to provide genuine advice to people who are trying to get into technology and grow within their careers. So, that being said, guys, please go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And also hit that bell notification icon if you want to be notified whenever I make new videos on YouTube. I appreciate you guys. Do not forget to build your billions.